Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more Firefall. Yes, I know, I just did this game yesterday, but we're gonna look at some more gameplay, and the big reason I decided to do another video is because there's actually some major announcements today. They talked about their big milestones coming up, the big additions and changes that they plan to make to this game in 2014. Now, in yesterday's video, I talked about how excited I was that there was new content. I was so swiftly corrected by people in the comments informing me that it wasn't really new content, it was new to me, and that's why I was excited, and I think the video still, you know, was relevant because it was stuff that was new to me, and based on some of the comments, it was also new to a lot of people who maybe had played the game a year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago if you got into the closed beta way back. And yeah, it was just new stuff to see, but some pretty big additions are planned for 2014. Now, does that mean that they're actually going to go through? Does that mean that we will see all those changes? There's no way to know. None of them could happen, but they're making some statements, they're making some, dare I say, promises about some changes, and I'd like to cover those and talk with you guys about those here in this video. So let's start at the top. One of the big points I wanted to drive home in today's live stream was that they're working on approachability. Approachability. It's a pretty simple word. I mean, everyone, you know, wants to have an approachable game. Everyone wants to feel like players can just jump in and do what they... I don't even know what I want to do while I'm talking here. And then we could go to the repulsor amplifier. Let's do that. We'll try to push back the melding. So yeah, approachability, that's important. Why is that important for this particular game? Well, yesterday we talked about some of the issues with this game, some of the prevailing concerns that people had when they talked about Firefall. One of them is the lack of content. Another one is just confusing systems. Talk about how the crafting system, sort of confusing, not really approachable. They're looking to improve that. They're looking to make a better user interface, and just even a tutorial. This game has had multiple iterations of tutorials, and you know, even the new one I've heard people complain about. So initially people were complaining because the tutorial wasn't action-packed enough. And the new tutorial is really action-packed. It gets you right into the combat, and people are like, oh, this is too crazy. What's going on? Who is my character? Why am I here? What's happening? That sort of thing. So there's just a lot of confusion. People just don't really understand their place in the world, what's happening in the world, and then just... Oh, man, this is a lot of... I don't want to put that much. We're gonna donate. We're just gonna put a bunch of crystite in here. And then if some other people help to put in crystite, well, maybe I can just put in, yeah, I'm just gonna put in as much as I can. So we need a lot. You can see I can donate a bunch, but we need more people to donate crystite here, and then the repulsor is gonna be able to push back the melding. Unfortunately though, I can't do it all myself. I did what I could though. Let me just go over here. So making the game more approachable, be it the crafted system, be it the tutorial, be it just, you know, making your way through the game and figuring out what is there to do, making it more approachable, making it more user-friendly. And whenever this sort of stuff comes up, I always get the response from people, oh, maybe if people aren't so stupid, they could figure it out. Look, approachability is a big deal in games, and games that are too unapproachable sometimes just straight up fail. Now, there's great examples of games that are unapproachable or difficult, but there's a difference between difficulty and unapproachability. You look at a game like Dark Souls, incredibly difficult. However, in a game like Dark Souls, if you screw up in combat, you know why. Now, it's not really the same argument here, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna just push all of that stuff aside, and we're gonna say approachability is something that they are looking to improve here in Firefall, and that is a good thing. You should be happy about that, because the more approachable, hopefully it means more people will be liking it. Because let's be honest right now, not a lot of people are talking about Firefall. It's not, it was on people's radar in the past, not really on people's radar so much anymore. Ooh, do we actually have, yeah, I'll go do this over here with this person. This should be fun. So approachability. Along with that, they're adding a campaign mode. Finally, at the end of this upcoming milestone, a campaign will be added. Now, what will be happening is it will be released in chapters over time, and it'll be a story mode. What is the thumper coming? What is happening here? I don't want to stand in there because if it falls, I'm dead. I just really don't know why it's not falling. Isn't it supposed to be falling? Anyway, a campaign mode is going to be added to the game, so we assume it's going to work like the standard. You hop into the game and there's a story, you move from mission to mission, you complete objectives, dialogue takes place. At the moment, really all there is You've got the dialogue in the opening tutorial, and when you first hop into New Eden, looks like nothing is happening over there. When you first hop into New Eden, there's a little bit of that story mode in Copacabana, but then it just sort of drops off, and you're just left to sort of wander around, thumping, doing Ares missions, things like that. And there's really not, there's not much, you know, there's not much guidance in that sense. But with a campaign mode, there will be that guidance, and again, that pulls back to our first discussion point, their first improvement that they talked about, which is accessibility in the game. So campaign mode coming alongside with that, as well as improvements to the UI and just being able to figure out what's going on when you're playing the game. They're also adding melee to the game, which makes me happy. There's a spot for it in the key bindings. Melee is supposed to be bound to G. However, I hit G and nothing happens. So that will be coming. You'll be able to melee characters. I think that's a great addition. This is a shooter. Most shooters, especially like third-person shooters that I've played, and first-person shooters, have a melee for, you know, the occasions when you run out of ammo. Or just, you know, instead of reloading, instead of switching weapons and dumping ammo, if you've got a low health enemy, you just finish them off with the melee. It's a great addition. There's really no reason it shouldn't be in the game. So I'm happy to see that they are adding it. Also, gear. Gear in this game has the unfortunate design decision of degrading and then being destroyed permanently. That's the system that they added. If you wanted some of this top-end gear, it would be great. You'd get improvements, but you would eventually lose it forever, and there was no way to keep it beyond just not using it. So they're going to be changing it so that you can spend crystite in order to increase the life of the gear. I don't know if this is going to be like a straight up repair system in which you can do indefinitely, or if you can just spend crystite at a vendor and then, you know, add a certain amount of length of duration to the use of the gear, something along those lines. I'm hoping it's more just of a repair system and they decide to shy away from permanent destruction. I guess it kind of makes sense if they're looking at, you know, it's like electronics or whatever, and that stuff, you know, over time it just degrades until it eventually dies forever. You can't keep repairing it. Or maybe, you know, but we're in the future, so maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's something they should do. I think they should have a normal repair system, and hopefully this is a step in that direction. They will be adding rare legendary weapon drops, so you'll be able to get some actually great gear. And I'll tell you, in a multiplayer game, gear is important. And they should have that sort of focus, at least in some sense. So to have this really awesome gear that you can show off to your friends, I think would be really cool. Also, they will be, lastly, and there's a few ones here, but one of the last big points that they said, one of the most exciting things that I heard, is that they're adding, finally, open world PvP, world bosses, which there were having some in the game right now, but maybe more of a focus on it, and then vehicle combat. All three of those things, I think, could revitalize people's excitement. If there's open world PvP, I will play this game all day. They had this instance sort of like arena-based deathmatch PvP, and they actually removed it because people weren't, I don't know why they removed it, but they did end up removing it at some time after I had stopped playing the game. Holy sniped. Let me go get some health down here. But yes, they will be adding PvP back into the game in the form of open world PvP. I cannot be more excited. Oh man. Oh good lord. I don't know what to say. That's gonna be awesome. And if you're big into PvE, then these giant bosses, you know, that kind of stuff, like that'll be good. They said all of that's coming in 2014. Hold them to it. Honestly, hold them to it. You should hold them to it. I'll hold them to it. They're making these claims. This stuff's happening in 2014. This game's been, you know, in development for so long. There's been so much that there's so much potential behind it, so much that I wanted to see from it that just didn't come through. If they will actually, you know, live up to their word and finally deliver this stuff, then man, oh man, I think this game could be a lot of fun. Open world, I just want open world PvP. That's really all I care about. And the bosses thing is cool. All those other stuff I talked about so far in this video are cool. But open world PvP, where I can just like fly around with jetpacks and troll people, like smash them in the face. Oh, just make it happen. For the love of God, make it happen. All right, guys, that'll do it. Thanks so much here for watching some gameplay and listening to me talk about some of the upcoming changes that will be coming to Firefall this year, 2014. Hold them to it. Yell at them. Send them messages. I don't know, just make it happen. Let's make it happen, guys. This game could be great. So far, it's just kind of but it could be great. All right, thanks again, guys. If you like the content, please subscribe, keep watching, and keep owning. What are we doing over here? We're just blowing people up? All right, I'm down with that. Look at this, look how stupid this is. These guys just show up here just to get destroyed. They don't even stand a chance. That was really funny. Look at this guy. 3 shots. Oh no, you take more. See, right now would be a perfect time to melee, but instead I gotta waste ammo. Because stupid game doesn't have a melee system yet. Way to be dumb.